Hello, it's Simon here, and welcome to the first of our 5 days training videos. Today, we'll look at just why Amazon is such a great place to build a hugely successful business, look at the details behind Amazon listings that customers have no idea about, and where to find the secret details that will help you to choose the perfect product to sell. So, why is Amazon the best place to start? Well, on the next slide, I'm going to show you some stats about the Amazon business that will absolutely astonish you. So here we are. Here are the stats that I promised. Now, these stats refer to Amazon worldwide, not just the USA market or the UK market or even just the European market. But running through, Amazon has this was last year's sales. Amazon has $513 billion in annual sales in 2022. It had 300 million users, 200 million Prime members. And just remember that an Amazon Prime is a subscription membership to Amazon that offers customers premium services for a yearly or monthly fee. And the number one benefit is free 2-day shipping on all eligible products. So 200 million members searching for products that they can get within 2 days. Then, of course, you've got 2 billion visits per month. I mean, the figures are just enormous. Then 4,000 items sold per minute. Can you imagine 4,000 items being sold every minute? And 56% of those sales, of those 4,000 items, were made by people who were third-party sellers. And that's people like yourself and myself, people who have own label brands and sell their products through the Amazon website. The figures are absolutely enormous. And can you imagine that if you've got 4,000 items being sold per minute, what do you think the chances are that you, with a product that's what somebody wants, particularly if it's a product that you've found through the information that we're going to give you, that's of something that people are searching for, what do you think the chances are that you could be selling an awful lot of products every day, every week, every month, and building a really solid business foundation? Well, I should say the chances are pretty darned high. So not only do Amazon have over 300 million people visiting their website every month, they also provide so many services for sellers like us that make this business model one that can be run from, well, anywhere in the world with nothing more than an internet connection and a laptop. You could be having a skiing holiday during the winter. You might be in the Bahamas having a fabulous holiday during the winter as well. You could be just working from home, creating your own business. You no longer then have a boss telling you what to do. You're running your own business and operating it through Amazon. Anyway, while all that is going on, Amazon does all of the following for you: receiving and storing your products into their warehouses, collecting customer payments, picking your products off their shelves, packing them into boxes, shipping those products to your customers, handling any product returns, handling most types of customer service, and most importantly, paying you every 2 weeks via direct deposit into your own bank account, and also even running some advertising for you. So don't you think this might be a way of finally getting rid of that boss and finally getting rid of the trip to work every day? I can't think of a business model that I found anywhere that is easier and simpler to get into. So now we've covered a lot of the reasons why Amazon is such a fantastic way to get into selling products online. It's such an effective business model and it works so easily. So next step is going to be to get to be used to quite a lot of the terms and some of the more technical aspects of Amazon listings. And from here on in, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, looking at Amazon as a seller is a lot different than looking at it like a customer does. So On this page is a listing with Amazon.com, and it's a product called a baby crib safety pop-up tent. Basically, it's crib netting you can put onto a crib to help keep the baby in and also help keep bugs and mosquitoes out. Now, as a customer, they don't refer to this as a product listing, but as sellers, we do. Customers just know that this is the product. They go to Amazon, they search, they click, and they look and they find a product. But as sellers, we call this the product listing. And this is a vital part of the business because this is the only thing that a customer can see in order to make a decision on whether or not to purchase your product. They're not in a store, so they can't see, touch, or feel your product. So we, as sellers, have to give them everything they possibly need on this one page in order to convince them that they want to purchase your product. There are a lot of terms that Amazon sellers use, and it's a good idea to be familiar with the main ones. Now, on the product listing, you're going to find a title, which is pretty obvious, but it has a limited number of words that you can put into that area, and you do need to put in some of the keywords for your product. So you can see here it's baby crib tent safety net, protects from climbing out and from insects, mosquitoes. That's the sort of thing that helps in search terms. So next, you'll also find the images for the product. Now, on the images, you've got the little ones on the side and the main image. Now, the main image, if you hover over that with your mouse, will also zoom in so that you can get a much better idea of exactly all the details, and hopefully that encourages people to buy your product. Also on the side of that, you've got the smaller images, and those smaller images, if you click on any of those, they become the large image. So you've got up to 7 images that you can use to convince customers that your product is what they're looking for. Now, those images, they're very important, and it's worth the time and the effort to get some really good pictures of your product. You also have the price for the product. Obviously, that would have to be there, and that's usually in 2 places. One on the left there underneath the title, and the other one is usually on the right in something that we call the buy box, and we'll come to the buy box shortly. Next, after the title, you'll see something called ratings, and this is fairly new. Last year, Amazon decided that they wanted to get more of their customers giving feedback on their products, and some customers didn't want to take the time to write a review, which in the past is what you had to do before you could put a rating up. So now Amazon gives them the option. If you want to give just a product review, anywhere between 1 and 5 stars, you can. And then if you want to go the extra step and write a product review, you can do that as well. But it's no longer a requirement in order to put up a rating. So this is where Amazon shows the number of ratings for this product. And if you click on the number, the ratings number, it will open up a box, and that will show you how many ratings of 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, all the way through to 5 stars that the product has got. So it might have 1,000 5 stars, 900, or in this case, probably only 100 4 stars, etc., etc. And then if the customer wants to actually see the reviews that go with those stars, they can then click on the area that says see all customer reviews, and that opens up a new page with all the customer reviews for that product. Now, on some products below the price, you'll see what's called a digital coupon. In this instance, there isn't one there. However, when you do see one, they're usually in green, and they'll give the customer a discount, either in a percentage off or $1 off. And as sellers, you have the ability to create these discounts or coupons in order to incentivize people to buy more of your products. And they do really help your products stick out among all the other similar products out there. Next, below the rating and the price are the bullets, which allow us as a seller to tell people even more features and benefits of our product. Now, customers have no idea that we call these bullet points, but as a seller, you will always refer to them as your product bullet points. And these can be used to great effect. Quite often, one of the tricks of the bullet points is to look at your competitors and see what some of the 1 and 2 star reviews of them are. And if you have people complaining about a particular part of the product, say, for example, in this case, that one of your competitors' main complaints were that the netting was a bit fragile and was subject to tearing, then what you could do in one of your bullet points is to say, extra strong netting prevents any sort of tearing, which all helps to appeal to potential customers. Now, to the right of the screen, and again it can be in some other places as well, is this area that we call the buy box. And this is where you'll see the add to cart button and maybe even the buy now button, and also the price of the product yet again. Now over here also it will tell the customer who the seller is of this product. And this product is shipped by Amazon, and you'll be using Amazon to ship your products as well because they make our lives so much easier. Below the shipped by Amazon is the name of the actual seller, and in this case it's Great Products Inc. But when you launch your first product, your seller name will be listed here, and that's how customers know who they're actually buying from, even if Amazon's doing the shipping. Now, the reason I mentioned the buy box is because it tells the customer who they're buying from. And the reason that's important is because as private label sellers, we want to be the only seller selling this product in the buy box, which is why you create your own brand, and that brand name is what shows on this page as the sold by. So where here it says sold by Great Products Inc., if it were your product, it would be sold by whatever your brand name is going to be. That's why you create your own brand of products, because if you were to go out and sell another company's brand, here's what would happen. So here you have on the left a Fisher-Price playmat, which Fisher-Price is a very big brand, and you will see at the bottom of the listing on the left of the screen it says in brackets 15 used and new offers. And if we click on that 15 used and new offers, you'll see them all listed, and I've shown those over on the right. All the prices are similar, so Amazon simply rotates through the different sellers, so that what that means is that you're trying to compete with 6 or 7 other people. You'll either not get the sale ever, or you only get 1 out of every 6 or 7 purchases on Amazon. And that's why we want to be private label sellers, because we want to be making sure people only buy our product, our brand, from us. Now on to another section called the product description. Pretty self-evident. Anyway, this is another area where a seller can put more information about their product in order to help tell the customer about all the cool features of the product. This one just has some basic text on, but there you will also have the ability, once you become a more advanced seller, to include graphics and 1 or 2 other things on this listing. Next, I want to show you something that most customers don't even know exists, and if they did, they probably wouldn't know exactly what it is. But it's something called the best seller rank, or as sellers refer to it, BSR. And this is one of the key stats that you'll use when choosing your product to sell. The BSR is a way for Amazon to tell you how well this product is selling compared to all the other products in the same category, and the lower the number, the better. So, for example, if you're number 1 in the baby category, you're selling the most every day. For number 2, you're selling the second most. Number 3, the third most, and so forth. Now, you'll see this product right here is ranked number 4,728 in all of baby. And you might think, whew, this product isn't doing very well at all because it's in the thousands. But because there are so many people buying on Amazon, being ranked in the thousands is totally fine. This product sells over 25 units a day and does at least £60,000 a month in revenue. That's why you don't need to worry about being in the top 100. As a matter of fact, you probably don't want to be, as that means you're in a really competitive category. But if you're anywhere in the thousands, you have a great chance of making really good sales with that product. Also, the first BSR number that you get is going to be the ranking in what's called a top-level category. For this one, it's baby. Now, think of these top categories as different areas of a department store. The baby section, the car section, the sports section, outdoor section, All of those sections are big categories on Amazon, and they're indicated by having the message see top 100 to the right of them. In this case, top 100 in baby. That's how you know that this is the rating for what we call the top level BSR. Now, what you might also see is that if this product is in one of the many subcategories that exist under all these large categories, top categories, it'll also tell you where it's ranking there. In this case, it's number 8 in baby and toddler bed mosquito protection, and also number 400 in nursery furniture. As you can imagine, there are tens of thousands of different subcategories across all of Amazon. The main thing to understand is that BSR is a way of ranking products among all the other products. Finally, we come to another ranking statistic that you'll be referring to on a regular basis when talking about your own product, and that's called search rank. So, we already talked about BSR, our bestseller rankings, and that ranking is just a way of telling how well that product is selling compared to all the other products in the same category. Now, if anyone was to ask you how well is your product ranking, 9 times out of 10 they're talking about search ranking. That is how well your product shows up when customers are searching for it. And the way we determine how well you're doing is to do a search for the product and bring up the first page of results, as we have here. Now you'll see that anything at the very top of the page is going to be an advertisement, and that's one of the premium spots to advertise on Amazon. And you can see that it's an advertisement because it'll always have the word sponsored by alongside, and I've highlighted these with a blue arrow. So for search ranking, ignore all the sponsored products and go to the first ones that don't have sponsored by them, and this would be the search rank position number 1. And then next would be search rank position number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on. And in order to sell really well, you want to try to be ranking as high as possible on page 1 in order to get the best results possible for your product. So when you get asked, how well is your product doing? Chances are the question refers to how well you're doing in the search ranks. And that wraps up the first day of training. It was a lot to take in, but really is an important foundation of understanding the main part of your Amazon selling, and that's the listing that customers use. So today we've covered the product listing, and we did cover that in some detail: product description, bestseller ranking, ratings, average rating, and search rank. All of those are real foundations, and I'm delighted we've got through it on day 1. Tomorrow we're going to be talking all things to do with categories, which categories to sell in, which categories to avoid. There are so many different categories to choose from in Amazon, and it's a minefield to navigate and choose correctly. But don't worry, I'll have a ton of info for you, and by the end of the training, you'll be an expert. Now, if you enjoyed today's training, comment below, ask questions, share your thoughts, and let's get talking. I'm going to be watching and listening to everyone and answering your questions. So, see you tomorrow, and we'll talk all things categories. Bye for now.